no pun included, hated this game. What do I think? Hello, welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name's Brad Lake, and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be. And let's find out if we like White Castle. This is going to be a rapid review. That means I have not played this 10 times, but I've played it enough that I can give you my general impressions of it and kind of where it's going to land. Stick around, find out what my value rating is, find out my pros and cons, find out what my BGG rating is of this new game that has been on the hotness, and then I see it's kind of slipped off the top 10 already. The publisher is DeVere Games, and this is made by the same designers that did Red Cathedral. And I'm going to look at my notes. Shay S. and Isra C. And the theme is feudal Japan 1761. The White Castle is the seat of the most powerful daimyo, and you are trying to, work your way up and secure good places for your clan, within the new hierarchy and political system that is this era. Now, theme-wise, this is pasted on. I don't feel like I'm climbing the political ladder in any way, shape, or form. Makes for a nice, some nice graphics. I wouldn't say the graphics are like stellar, but makes for a pleasant game. If you've played Red Cathedral, the graphics aren't any better or worse than that, just different. That was Russia. This is Japan. Meh. Mechanics, we have an open card market. Like, I know they like to call it open drafting, but to me, drafting is like I get it for free. You're buying cards, or you have things that you can get from a market. And then we have worker dice placement, which is one of my favorite mechanics, is placing dice out on a board as a worker and getting resources or getting something out of that. And then we have standard worker placement. So you're going to have 3 sets of workers. They're going to do different things that you'll be able to place out on the board. And they come off of your tableau here. And, and then that kind of leads into your tableau. As you unlock things, you're going to have resource tracking over here. But as you unlock and place workers out on the board, when you take those actions, you'll also be able to generate more resources. So you kind of end up with a little bit of an engine, but you still have to place a dice to then get that benefit. So it's not just an engine that's coming around every turn and every turn. This plays 1 to 4. I have not played it solo, but from the comments I've been getting, this is a very meh kind of solo game. I would probably say if you're looking at this for solo, this isn't something you'd want to recommend, but I would also recommend going and searching out those who have played this solo and getting a better, more in-depth play of it. The best player count, I think, is 3. I think it's a little bit tighter. I don't want boards that are so open that, you never feel like you're feeling like you're playing by yourself sometimes, right? Those can be fun as well, but this isn't the kind of game where I want that. And, I think 3 is nice. I think 4, depending on how fast it would play, I could like that as well, but I enjoyed it at 3. Right now, I would recommend that's probably a nice sweet spot. You can play it at 2. This is not my copy. This is my friend's copy. He plays it at 2 with his wife, and has enjoyed it. But I typically like something a little bit tighter when I'm playing these. Turn overview. You're going to have these 3 bridges here, and there's a white and a black and a red-orange color. And on your turn, you're going to pick either the high-sided dice or the low-sided dice, and then you're going to place it out here on the board. That's really it. Now, it's one action, but then you're trying to look, and I don't feel like it's too analysis paralysis compared to other games that I've played, but you're looking for a chain of events out here on the board in the different sections. It's randomly going to be, a red dice action, a black dice action, or a white dice action. And depending on where those land, if you pick the white dice, you can only place it on a white dice action space. Um, and then, all the colors have to match. And then if it's a high enough value, then you can take the action. If you don't have, like here, we've got a 4. If you decide to pick the 1, you have to pay coins to make up the 2, 3, and 4. So you're going to pay 3 coins to place a 1 on a 4, but that allows you to do something else as well. So if you pick high dice, you're going to get extra money. So if I placed a 6 on a 4, then I would get 2 coins and be able to take the action for free. So kind of. But then if I take the low dice, I'm going to have to make up the difference with money. But then I also get to activate my tableau so that, I might get more resources. So if you're tableau building, you might want to take low-sided dice. If you're trying to get money, you're going to want to take high-sided dice. And then everywhere in between. The interesting thing about it is the game plays really on trying to chain. And if you know me, I like chaining events and trying to chain things together. So you're going to want to, as you're starting round 2, round 3, you're going to want to be looking at like, what am I doing to be able to stretch out my one action? This game is played over 3 rounds, and then everybody plays, and I may get this wrong now that I have to look at the rules, but you get to play 3 dice. So you're going to have like 9 turns essentially. So the chaining of events is what's going to really help you, like, oh, I was able to do this, and this action triggers another action which allows me to do this, and I placed this here, and I placed the one where I had enough money so I could chain again. Without running out of resources. So that's definitely the trick to the game. And then pros. So this is labeled at 80 minutes, and I would say it's that or less. Like I almost, like that, and I'm kind of in this, I love a heavy, crunchy 2 or 3 hour Euro game. Working on learning Fractal right now, gonna find out how long that plays, but I'm enjoying, and surprisingly, when I get a game where it's like, it plays faster than I thought it would. It didn't take as long and it wasn't grueling, right? So like my pro for this is that it plays quickly. You're not gonna you're not gonna do a whole lot, right? And so like everybody has this one action. I'm gonna take a dice and I'm gonna place it here, and you're gonna see how it chains out. So I think that's been really nice for me when, the games are actually like, oh, it's a 60-minute game and it takes 3 hours. Come on. I enjoy that. The other thing is I like chaining and chaining and chaining and chaining. So anytime a game, like it makes me feel clever. Whether I'm going to win or lose or not, if I can chain 2 or 3 things together, you're going to be able to chain 2 things together typically, but if I can get that third, I really feel like, oh, look, I was able to do that. Or I was able to get a whole bunch of resources or something by the way I was able to chain a couple of things together. That feels good, right? So that's something I enjoy. And I think, like, as you look at the games that you play, do you enjoy games that do that? I think a lot of people do, but I don't know if there's that many games that allow you to feel clever as you do it. It's also why I like Super Mega Lucky Box. For $20, you can play Gamers Bingo and sit there and chain things together. It can be pretty fun. My con is if you're looking for a Euro game, and I kind of, and this is where if you're looking for this 2 hour, 3 hour Euro game, building things up and going through and all of this kind of stuff, this isn't going to be it. So, I was worried about this game being like, small box, super long, and it wasn't. So I was pleasantly surprised. At the same time, I was not looking forward to playing this if it was going to be a 2 or 3 hour game. So that may be a con for you. Like if you're looking for this, I want, 3.5, 4, and I want a 2 or 3 hour experience with a group of people, and I really want to, get into that, depth of strategy and tactical. You're not really going to get this. This is very This is very tactical, little bit of long-term strategy, but you're going to have to react to what's coming out on the board as things continue to change. Um, the random layout you may find as a con. I didn't, but like the one of the cons can be like the layout may not allow you to chain. So if I was playing this game and I wasn't able to chain things together and not feel clever, I would not like this game. I still like dice placement, but what really started to sing for me, and I'll go keep talking about chaining, is that. So with the random layout of the cards and the cards change as people can take them and bring them to their tableau, you may get into a situation where you feel like you got stalled, and so or somebody else was able to start doing things and you weren't. So that whole random layout can create a scenario where it's just like there's nothing out there for me to do. So that can be a con as well. Weight rating. So BGG has this rating at a 3, and I usually reserve that for Castles of Burgundy. If you've played it, like that, to me, that's a 3. It's a nice midweight, but it's not like somebody new coming into the board game space to be like, oh, I completely understand what's going on, unless somebody's teaching it to them in person. When you read those rules, when you watch Rodney, it's like, what's going on for the very first time, right? This one, I don't think it's that hard. I think this is more like a 2.5 weight game. I think it's a little, like, I think if you read the rules, it might be a little fiddly as you're putting some stuff out, but we learned this game and played this in less than an hour and a half, or right at an hour and a half with a teach. So I really don't think this is a 3 weight rating, in my opinion. Maybe 2.75, but I'm still kind of saying, like, you have one dice action. It's not, like, oh, I have to do this and this and this. You may not be very efficient at it, but it's still not going to be this, like, it's not brain burning in any way, shape, or form. Onto my value rating. You cannot get this at Miniature Market. You can get it on Amazon. They're saying there's 4 left, right? Who knows if that's true or not. You can get it at Game Nerds in the United States, and it's selling right now for around $32 for this experience. So if this were, say, $10, this would be between 1 and 5. I would say this is an experience of 5 for what you get and what you're doing. You're getting, a lot of bang for your buck. If this were $50, I would say this is going to be a 1, maybe a 2. For the amount of time you're playing it, for the experience you're getting it. I don't think this would be worth $50. So I'm just trying to scale it for the money that you're paying, not necessarily how good the game is. Or, well, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? But for $32, I think, like, I'm so glad this isn't $50. Now, this is a smaller box game. Probably a lot of people want, a smaller box game for $25, but those are real filler. They're only going to be like 20 minutes. Even filler games now are in this $30 to $50 range. But I think for $32, if you like dice placement, if you like chaining, I think this is like a 3.5 to 4. Probably like a 3.5. I just think, it's going to be good for some people. I don't think it's going to be great for many people. It's gonna hit right in the middle, somewhere where you think you got a good deal, but you're not. I don't think you're gonna play this 50 times, right? So that's kind of where I'm hitting at. 3.5. It's worth $32. My BGG rating on this. So I think this is a nice game. I enjoyed my plays of it, but at the same time, I'm like, I think this is a 7. I can take it. I can leave it. I would play it. I would, if somebody wanted to play it, I'd be like, yeah, let's sit down and play it, because it plays quickly. It's got a mechanic that I like. And I enjoy that chaining. But I wasn't so hyped up. I think, like, if I could get like more chaining or a little bit, and it was a little bit longer with more chaining, I'd probably like really, it would probably kick it up above a 7. But I think for me right now, I mean, I think this lands at a 7. It's a good game. I liked Red Cathedral. If you don't like Red Cathedral, you might still like this because it plays faster. Red Cathedral takes that engine time and time and time to get your dice out and then, start building things up and collecting pieces of the castles that you're going for, right? So this doesn't play the same. So you could like one and not like the other. You could like Red Cathedral and not like this because this I don't think is as crunchy, and this is going to play faster than Red Cathedral. So you're kind of going to have that mix. But for me, I'm going to say this is like a 7. What do you think? Have you tried it? Have you gotten rid of it? I know a few of you have. Have you tried it and been like, I love it? Haven't, or you just haven't tried it and have no interest whatsoever? I am curious about what you think, and is this helpful? Do you like these rapid reviews? All that, I really do appreciate your input. And if you haven't subscribed, click that little subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night.